Honestly, many women think they're dating a strong masculine man, but in reality, they're just dealing with an emotionally unavailable one. Because sometimes these two can look similar, but at the end of this video, you will know the difference. Yes, you will. Let's get into the video. Hello, intentional woman. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ayanime, and the first key difference between a healthy, wholesome, strong masculine man and an emotionally unavailable one is that a masculine man makes you feel secure, while the emotionally unavailable man makes you overthink. When I was writing the script, I wish I could sit my younger self down and gently but firmly tell her what I know now, which is any man who would make you confused about what you are to him is not a healthy person to be around. Really, let's look at it. When a healthy masculine man comes into your life, he creates emotional safety through his actions. You never have to second guess his intentions. He is consistent, and gradually you begin to feel safe and secure enough to fall in love with him. An emotionally unavailable man, on the other hand, comes into your life with chaos. He is unpredictable. He tells you he likes you, then disappears for weeks. He makes plans but doesn't follow through. You're never sure if he is serious with you or wants to keep you around. So you find yourself feeling confused and anxious and worried. You're reading text messages, trying to find clues. You keep wondering why he says one thing but acts a different way. And then you talk to your girlfriends and you all become amateur Sherlock Holmes, trying to detect his intentions, and you overthink and overthink and overthink. I'm exhausted even talking about it. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It's exhausting. If there is no security in the way you interact with this man, that's a clear sign. Because the truth is, the way you interact with a man you know in your heart is yours is different from the way you interact with a man who you are unsure about. With the first one, you're at peace. There's a sense of security. You're not worried if he's not going to return your call because you know he's going to. You feel safe and you can talk to him about anything and everything. He's your friend. He's your anchor. He's your support. You have healthy expectations and you know he's up to the task. You don't have to perform or audition or also hold back. You can just be with this person. That's not the way it is with the unavailable one. Oh yes, you are apprehensive. If you call him, you're worried if he will even bother to call you back. You're worried if he will remember to do things on special days like your birthday or Valentine's Day. You walk on eggshells around him because you don't know what's going to trigger him. Please stop. Such a man is not masculine. He's very unhealthy for you. Listen, if you are in this type of situation, I just have to ask you, are you not tired? Because it must be tiring, isn't it? So what's stopping you from saying to yourself, I deserve better, and then walking away? I'm able to describe the difference between these two men because before I started this journey, that was the situation I was in. But I had to find the courage to say, oh no. I deserve a lot better than this. So you do have to find that courage to do the same. Like I told the women I was, invited to speak to a couple of months ago, what would you prefer, right? Temporary pain from walking away from a man who is unhealthy for you, or constant pain from being with a man who is unhealthy for you? It's an easy choice, isn't it? Yes, it is. And I also like to add that a man being emotionally secure means that he can communicate to you he's not ready for a relationship. But here's the difference. He's not going to tell you he's not ready for a relationship, but tries to get boyfriend benefits, right? He will tell you, I'm not ready for a relationship, and that's it. He won't try to tell you, come to my place, come and spend the night, or let's go. No, he won't lead you on. He will just say, and that's going to happen if you express interest. Yeah. Now, number 2, masculine men are emotionally secure, while emotionally unavailable men avoid depth. Honestly, I reflected on so much when I was preparing to shoot this video. And one of the things that I had to reflect on was how I used to think that a man who didn't show his emotions, a man who knew how to bury things and bottle things up, was a healthy man. When in reality, that's just a deeply emotionally unavailable man. This is the man who dodges difficult conversations and tells you, you know what, let's talk about something else. This is the man who tells you you're too sensitive, or a man who doesn't know how to handle your vulnerability in any way because it makes him uncomfortable and probably he sees it as a weakness. And this is the type of man who blows hot and cold and disappears when things get serious. The saddest part is that it won't just be in relation to the both of you. It will spill into other areas of your life, in the sense that you won't be able to talk to him about, let's say, having a bad day or something an ex did that hurt you or something that happened while you were growing up. Because emotional unavailability is not just about romance or love life or dating, right? It covers everything. You won't be able to talk to him about anything that has depth, anything that has a bit of, tension and seriousness to it. Even when it comes to conflict, you will see that behavior play out there too. My ex is an embodiment of this, right? And I didn't realize it until I broke up with him, took a break from dating and started doing the inner work. That was when I realized, oh my God, this man is so emotionally unavailable. And it's even in the way he interacted with the people around him. If you go to him and, you're upset and you're feeling down about something, he'll tell you, toughen up. Life is hard, toughen up. Hey, God have mercy. I was just so blinded to the signs. But now looking back, I couldn't really open up to him about things because I knew that it would make me feel even worse. And the part that, breaks my heart sometimes when I think about it was how I endured his silent treatment. Because, if we had a conflict, his reaction was to run away. He won't pick his calls. He won't respond to text messages, nothing. And honestly, silent treatment is emotional abuse to me. Yes, it is. Because I've dealt with men who are more emotionally secure, who, if they're upset with me, they would tell me, listen, babe, what just happened was really hurtful to me. Can you give me a couple of days? I need to process. I need space. They let you know so that even if you call and he doesn't pick, you're not panicking. You're not panicking. You're sort of like just thinking, okay, you know what? I hurt him. Let me just give him time. When he processes things, he will come back and talk to me. That's different from somebody shutting down completely and refusing to talk to you, refusing to say anything, ignoring you because he knows it will cause you pain. That's emotional abuse. You cannot convince me otherwise. So if this is what you're dealing with, then my darling, you're dealing with an emotionally unavailable man, because that's not the way a healthy masculine man behaves. If he needs space, he will tell you, like I said, he will be in touch with his feelings. He will communicate with you. He will be vulnerable with you. And not just that, he will handle your own vulnerability with tenderness and gentleness. You will notice that he knows how to lean in and connect with you emotionally. And my goodness, emotional intimacy is a beautiful thing. It really is. Because I've come to understand that safety in a relationship is almost always a product of emotional security. You cannot feel safe if the person you're dealing with is detached from his emotions, which means he won't even understand what you are going through. Neither will he know how to handle your own emotions. If you're dating right now, try having a serious conversation with this person. Try to open up to them and see how he handles it. Does he step in carefully and gently, or does he brush it off, try to dodge it in a way that speaks of him being uncomfortable? Does he try to brush you off? Does he tell you to change the subject and talk about something light? Because the answer will tell you everything you need to know about the person you're dating. Honestly. Number 3, masculine men can handle love, while emotionally unavailable ones push it away. So during the early stages of a relationship, right, it is easy for an emotionally unavailable man to hide. But as things progresses and love creeps into the picture, it becomes a bit difficult. That is when you start to see if he is truly emotionally available, because you cannot date forever. At some point, the talking stage has to come to an end. Dating has to mean something, because you can't just date forever. Feelings have to deepen to where you can say, I love you. Because again, you cannot just keep liking each other forever. At some point, you have to start looking at a serious commitment, at the possibility of building a life together. Things should naturally progress at a pace that is comfortable for for the both of you. And if you're dealing with a healthy masculine man, that's what's likely going to happen. But if you're dealing with an emotionally unavailable one, that's the time things start to get funny. Suddenly he gets busy or needs space when you ask for more. He starts to make excuses just so he can avoid a deeper commitment. And that is when you see that instead of you both progressing forward, you're stuck, or worse, you're going back. Because this is the time a man can just wake up and tell you, I'm not getting married for the next 5 years, or I'm not ready for a relationship. That is why now, I don't know, maybe it's an age thing, right? When I meet somebody and we are in that getting to know each other stage, we're going on dates, I always ask, what's your intention behind dating? And not dating me, but dating in general. Is it just vibes and inshallah? Or are you out here trying to find something serious, something meaningful? Because I'm out here looking for something meaningful. So let's just know what we're doing with each other so that we're not wasting each other's time. So if you are with a man who can't handle the natural progression of your relationship and you're noticing some signs, and by the way, progress doesn't have to mean jumping into marriage. It's in the little things. It's in the talking stage, transitioning into proper dating. It's proper dating transitioning into proper relationship. It is in you being invited into his world where you start to know his friends, you start to know about his work, his fears, dreams, his ambitions. It could be that you now have a key to his place, right? Or when he's making plans for the future, you can see yourself featured prominently in it. Those things matter. So if you're just in a situation where you're just stuck, nothing is happening, and you've tried to have this conversation with him and it's not going anywhere, that is a clear sign that he is not just emotionally unavailable, there's also a chance that he's not just available for you. And that's okay. That's not necessarily a bad thing. That's okay. It means you now have the right information you need to go find somebody who will be available for you. That is why I always tell my clients, my friends, and everybody who cares to listen, it doesn't matter what a man wants, what he does, or even says, because now men do all the right things for the wrong reason. What matters is what you want. What do you want? Because if you want a relationship and you meet a man that tells you, I am not ready for a relationship, there is nothing to process there. There's nothing to rationalize there. There's nothing to try and cajole. No. At that point in time, you have the information you need. You know that this man doesn't want what you want. So you need to get clear on what you want. I'm not even sure if we should do a video on how to get clarity on what you want and what your deal breakers are. I'll think about it. If I think the structure is something you'll be interested in, I'll film it. And if it's something you'll be interested in, let me know. I'll film it too, okay? So always find the inner strength to walk away from a man who doesn't want the same thing you do. Tell him, over, okay? And now number 4, healthy masculine men set clear intentions while emotionally unavailable ones send mixed signals. Recently, a man called me a lesbian, and he said this a few weeks ago, and then I think last week he said it again. I was curious. I asked him, why are you calling me a lesbian? This is the second time you're calling me a lesbian. So he said, well, I have been making passes at you, but you're not even, responding. You're not even moving your body. My dearly beloved, what was the sign? I honestly do not know. Honestly, that's the funny thing. Maybe it was when he told me that he can only date a woman he has slept with? Or is it when he told me that he is not ready for a relationship, that he's focused on his business? Or is it when he asked me if I was single and I said yes, I was, and he said, well, me, I'm single too? Or, it could be when he said he wanted to come to my place at 11 p.m. and I told him no. I don't know, because I just saw all of that as information. Besides, he's a friend of a friend. So I just felt, okay, he's trying to be my friend. You were giving me information, not things I should take action on. I don't know what he was expecting. Maybe he was expecting me to come to him and say, well, since you're single, I'm single. Let's see. God. All the same, I was very proud of myself when he explained why he called me a lesbian, because it was all the confirmation I need to know that my standards now, the standards are high. Maybe the younger me, would have taken all that information and tried to, manipulate things and try to see if things can work out between both of us. It could even have meant me, calling him, just saying, let's go hang out. I honestly don't know what it would have meant for the younger me. But for the me of today, it meant you gave me information. You were not asking me out. And the funny thing is that his reaction was really entitled. It was almost like, I don't understand. Like, can't you see this man here in front of you? God, you have not started. Because with me, things are done right or they are not done at all. You cannot come through the window. You have to come through the door. I am saying all that to say this. A healthy man will come into your life and he will set his intentions. A truly masculine man will not play those games. He doesn't have the time for it. He will come into your life and he will say something like, I want to get to know you. I want to date you. I want to be in a relationship with you, or whatever choice of words he chooses. It is the emotionally unavailable ones that try to play games like this or tell you, let's go with the flow, or they start to, try to have really sexualized conversations with you, all in the name of catching fun and vibes. The next time a man tells you, let's go with the flow, you should ask him with whose emotions, with whose body, with whose time, with whose energy. Go and flow to a different place, not your life. Because when a man says this, all I know is that this is just a man who doesn't want to define things, right? He just wants to have the benefits that comes from being in a relationship without really having to do the work of what it means to be in a relationship. Because at the end of the day, relationships can be work. So my darling, if you're constantly wondering about his intentions, if you're constantly wondering, what are we, it is my pleasure to tell you that he's not a healthy man. And I say pleasure because it means that now that you are aware, you have enough information to make a decision that is healthy for you. Now, I must add that a man telling you he wants you from the start does not mean that his intentions are pure. He could say all the right things and do all the right things, but the intention behind it is not very good. That is why you have to be discerning. Remember what we talked about in the previous video where I talked about 5 men no woman should ever date? I'll link it in the description. Well, in that video, I talked about how men have been the ones chasing women for the longest time. So when they come, they try one thing, it doesn't work. They go back, they tweak it, refine it, come back, try the second thing, it doesn't work. They go back, they try it over and over and over with different women until they find a pattern that works. So you have to be discerning, you have to pray also, and you have to not rush to commit just because a man comes in and tells you all the right things. Pray, 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 and pray. Like I said, I'll link the video in the description. The title is 5 Men No Self-Respecting Woman Should Date. And finally, number 5, masculine men lead with actions while emotionally unavailable ones make empty promises. Do I really have to explain that one? Do I? Okay, I will. So this is the nutshell of this point. Disregard everything a man says. It makes no difference. If it is not backed by actions, then it is not something you should be invested in. Masculine men do not just talk, they do. If he says he'll call you, he calls you. If he says he wants to take you out, he plans the date. If he says, I care about you, his actions reflect that. Well, an emotionally unavailable man will say, I miss you, but will never make the effort to see you. He will say, I'll text you later, and then he disappears for weeks. How about the one who says, I'm busy, but always has the time for other things? You see, this one is not rocket science, right? If you choose to put your emotions in the back seat and let logic lead, you will see this one very clearly. You don't need me to explain it to you. And by the way, when I say healthy men take action, they lead with action, this also involves him being accountable. Accountability is very important. For instance, if he said he was going to call you and he didn't, he will apologize and he will make it up to you. The unavailable man will make excuses, or worse, he will even make it seem like he never told you he was going to call you in the first place. Are you sure? I don't remember saying that one, no. Really? You see the difference? It's very clear. It's not rocket science, right? Well, I hope that with this last point of mine, I have been able to convince you to pay attention to what a man does and ignore what he says. So now that you know the difference between an emotionally healthy man, a masculine man, and an emotionally unavailable one, have you had any experience with either of these two? What was it like? Share it with me in the comments. You know I love reading your comments and interacting with you. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, because on this channel I create content that helps you grow into the best version of yourself. Trust me, you will love it here. As always, be kind to yourself and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.